Nux, grooming, and sweeping. It would appear that the circling of the wagons has now begun. All of the strange hanger-ons of the Asmongold sort of orbit, Kirsche, Tectone, Nux, are basically just circling round and round and round, round and round and round in order to protect NuxTaku from his impropriety, I suppose, for lack of a better term. Let's go with impropriety. Sure, why not? And we obviously have taken a look at the video itself by Nikandros in his expose, his very well-detailed, put-together expose of NuxTaku, essentially, and this is what Nikandros' accusations are in the expose, that NuxTaku helped facilitate and create an environment where it is much easier for minors to get groomed into, well, participating in potential sexual content and or acts in of themselves, right? That is the accusation, and a common theme that we're more than likely going to see from all of these sweepers is saying, like, oh, yeah, dude, I can't believe that NuxTaku is being accused of being like a pedophile or whatever, when that's not, well, because that's Nux's original defense and his dogshit defense. It's like, that's not what Nikandros is saying. Nikandros never accused you of being a pedophile. Never, he never did that, right? What he did accuse you of is facilitating an environment where children can get more easily groomed. Now, grooming doesn't necessarily mean it has to be sexual. Generally speaking, it is sexual, but not all the time. Basically, grooming someone into acting and behaving in particular ways that are not going to be beneficial for their sort of growth or whatever. Yeah, well, not 13 plus, more like just even preteens, right? Some of those fucking kids said that they were like the ages of like 11 and 12. But besides that, of course, Boy Meets Mini, right? Nikandros' video is a fantastic video, goes into a lot of fucking details for the sort of crimes, I suppose, for lack of a better term, that NuxTaku, broadly speaking, has engaged in with his sort of online behavior. But of course, all of the Asmongold orbiter morons are circling the wagons in order to defend and try to sweep away for Asmongold's fucking behavior. And why don't we start with the mold queen herself? Fucking Kirsche. Kirsche, for those who may not know, is a VTuber who is just a white nationalist. There's a very good thread made by another tweeter, I believe their name is Bint. They made a very, very good thread talking about the sort of antics of Kirsche, where she basically believes in the Great Replacement theory, which is obviously, it's nonsensical, it's stupid, but she believes in it unironically. She drank a week-old Arizona that had mold in it, which I guess seemingly got to her brain, I guess, or something. Okay, great, fantastic. And also, she had a bit of a spout with, I think, someone named Anna Valens. Now, Anna Valens, I believe, is a opinion writer for Vice, right? She wrote a piece on Kirsche, where basically she was criticizing Kirsche. This is going to be a very, very redacted form. It's a whole long-ass drama. Other people have gone into this, right? I'm doing a very, 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 very TLDR version of this. Kirsche got into a spat because she thought that Anna Valens was lying and dug up a bunch of old stuff where Anna Valens herself was rather let's just say, for lack of a better term, extremely sussy and very sexually explicit online. Which is, again, separate from the writing that she did. The arguments that she brought up against Anna Valens was still correct. And she was threatening to sue Vice. Now, Vice decided to take down the piece by, I think their name is Anna Valens. I'm pretty sure, but whatever. Decided to take down the piece by Anna Valens because there's like, I don't want to bother with this fucking bullshit with a lawsuit. Because, again, like, it's expensive, it takes a long time, and it's just like, fuck that, I don't want to deal with it. And Vice decided to take the fuck that, I don't want to deal with it route, and they took the article down. Obviously, Kirsche is going to claim that as quote-unquote a victory for herself, when that's more like Vice just didn't want to fucking deal with a lawsuit based off of one random opinion piece, because it's just not worth it for them as a company, right? Because lawsuits are kind of fucking expensive, right? And she was like alleging like defamation, all this stuff that would have been actually pretty difficult for Kirsche to probably like prove in the court of law, especially in the United States. Very, very difficult to prove defamation, right? Very, very, very tough. But article's been taken down. We can move on. Anna Valens, a bit of a sussy individual herself, rather sexually explicit content. And Kirsche, because she's kind of a dumbass, decided to go in and dig into a bunch of Anna Valens's old... Yeah, kind of. But Kirsche decided to dig into a bunch of Anna Valens's old fanfic comics, right? Or like, she wrote a bunch of sexually explicit fanfic, okay? You know, to each their own, they can do whatever they want, blah, 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 blah. And for whatever reason, and there was explicitly sexual material, like, and sort of things written in this fanfic that was written by Anna Valens, right? Because, again, it's a forum, you do that, blah, 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 blah. And for whatever reason, Kirsche decided to read that shit on stream, even though she was, like, about to catch herself reading that stuff, and she's like, I don't know if I'm supposed to do this, and then she just starts reading it anyways, and she got banned for a day for it. So it's just like, wow, you're a fucking dumbass. Like, why the fuck would you do that? You yourself even said, like, I probably shouldn't read this, and then she just reads it, and then she threw a fucking hissy fit over it because of the fact that she got banned correctly for a day by Twitch. There's a really good video that goes into a whole summary. I'll probably find it, stick it in the description. I believe by another creator named Sephora Denoma. I think that's their name? Their name. We'll just go with that. But here, Kirsche, deciding to join in on the NuxTaku circling the wagons defense squad. Why don't we take a look?
Internet Zen Master, thank you. The fact that Anal Violence is talking about this after a bunch of idiots, including Taiga, who should know better, tried to force Leaflit to be the VTuber Emiru and bend the knee, only for her to politely tell them to get bent, is very funny to you. Anal Violence is so dumb. I tried starting to...
I have no idea what that fucking has to do with anything, but we've talked about, like, Nux's behavior with Taiga, where Nux explicitly just... I think just basically slandered Taigaholic in front of Moist Critical's audience. He apologized privately to Taiga, right? Saying that he was going to collaborate with Charlie to clear the air on Charlie's platform. Didn't fucking do it. I think there was, like, recently a thread where Taiga themselves were also trying to a Charlie, Moist Critical Charlie, say, like, yeah, I would like to try to clear this up for everyone, because Taigaholic did say a bunch of fucking sussy shit, but they exonerated themselves, right? It was actually a mod who was stalking them that put out all of that accusations that Taiga was engaging in. I think the accusation was pedophilia, I believe, or child grooming, something along those lines. That was proven wrong by Taiga. With a bunch of counter screenshots and a bunch of evidence saying that's not the case, and this is just my, like, freak mod who's fucking stalking me. And broadly speaking, Taiga was exonerated in the eyes of the public. But Nux decided to basically bring that up in a collab with Charlie after the exoneration, and it was known that they were fucking exonerated. That, of course, being Taigaholic. So it's one of those things where it's just like, okay, Nux apologized on his podcast. He still basically refused to apologize and take basically any responsibility for his actions and do that collab with Charlie where he would specify Charlie's audience was a much bigger audience than Charlie. It's the same point that I brought up during my NuxTaku video, Attack on Grifters, specifically on NuxTaku. I guess I'll throw that also in the description as well. Fuck it, why not? Shameless self-promo. Shameless dyslexia. I love dyslexia. So, what was I going to say? Right. So, here's the thing. The point that I was bringing up specifically in that video. The problem is that, yeah, Nux, sure, you apologized on your platform, on your podcast show that you host with fucking Mudahar, and it got a lot of views, it got a lot of attention, blah, 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 right? Problem. Charlie's audience is a magnitude bigger than yours. Period, end of story. That's just a fact, right? Fact. Period, end of story. What is the likelihood that they saw that fucking episode? In the minds of a lot of Charlie's audience, they probably still think that Taiga is a groomer. Which is why, when you said that you were going to go collab with Charlie to clear up the air, on that specifically, that would have been, well, the correct move. Or at least make some kind of a fucking public statement on any of your fucking platforms. He didn't do that for months. And then he did it, after 8 months. And the thing that he still said that he was going to do with the collab with Charlie to clear this all up, he still never fucking did that. So, you fucked up majorly right there, Nux.
To watch some of, the shit about what's going on, and I was like, oh, I'm in the car for, an hour and a half, let's throw on that Nicandros video. And, the beginning of the video starts out with him just lobbing a ton of insults at Tectone, and I kept having to look back, and I was like...
No, do you know what a fucking insult is, you dumb fucking bitch? Hello? First off, huff that fucking copium. Those aren't insults, those are literally things that are in a fucking transcript in a bunch of court documents when Nicandros was talking about Tectone. Tectone is a lolicon, that's just confirmed at this point, right? That was something that was brought up in the Nicandros video. Period. End of fucking story. He unironically liked a bunch of fucking goddamn lolicon artists on Twitter, and then he had a panic about that. Shamu video also goes into this very, very well as well. Yeah, he did all that shit. All of that fucking evidence was compiled. So it's just cope about it? It just happened. It's not an insult if it's fucking true. But again, this is the primary tactic of all these weird motherfuckers on how they defend each other and circle the wagons. They try to inherently discredit that which has been provided plenty of evidence for.
This was a video about Nux, right? What is happening? And so finally, after he finishes berating Tectone, he goes into talking about Nux having weird censored thumbnails that weren't censored enough, and it's well, that was a meta on YouTube for a while.
So Kirsche is explicitly lying here. She's lying. First off, and this is also what Nicandros said himself, the quote-unquote meta that happened, because NuxTaku was doing that stuff around 2019. First off, people like Giguk and PewDiePie, and we're going to get to fucking Tectone, because he says the exact same shit here, I think they did that in 2016, 2017. Nux started doing that in around 2018, 2019, and then he claimed that he created the fucking meta. And also, PewDiePie and Giguk did not go to the extent of barely censoring a lot of the lolly hentai and bestiality in comparison to that of, PewDiePie and Giguk, right? They probably use the terms this is very cultured or whatever, in terms of describing some aspects of Japanese culture with like hentai or whatever the fuck in like a very ridiculous meme sort of way, right? But they never actually played the uncensored fucking hentai in their videos. That's the fucking difference. So it's not quote-unquote a meta, right? This is just some, like, weird shit that NuxTaku was doing on his own to really push the line.
I remember a lot of people having, like, weirdly lewd implication thumbnails. I don't, maybe that's bad, I don't know, like...
Yeah, it's pretty bad because it was a lot of, like... there was like fucking lolicon shit on there, dude. Like, yeah, it's pretty bad.
That was just a thing for a while. And then he's going on about these thumbnails. And then I fell asleep. And I feel like...
Okay, hold on. You were driving in the fucking car and you fell asleep while listening to the video. What the hello? Can we talk about that for one quick... Why the fuck are you falling asleep behind the wheel? What are you doing? Pull over. If you're so tired, pull over. Take a quick power nap. Pull on over, take a quick cat nap, recharge the batteries, and go back to driving. You literally just... Did she forget that she was driving? Maybe she wasn't actually driving. I have no idea. Maybe she's just lying. We are dealing with Kirsche here, and Kirsche's not very fucking bright.
If you're making an expose video, and it's supposed to be like, this guy is big, bad, evil man, here is why.
I don't think so.
You should put the big, bad, evil man stuff, like, in the front. You should front load it.
Okay, so here's an actual potential argument. Nikandros, your video is a little too long. Why aren't you front loading the actual accusations against Nux? And I'm going to defend Nikandros's formatting here specifically. The reason for as to why Nikandros, if I were to take a guess, formatted the video in the way that he did, because sure, there's an argument that you can have, a subjective argument you can have that the video was a little too long, could have cut out the Asmongold and Tectone stuff, that probably would have been about 10 minutes shaved off the video. Yeah, sure, whatever, okay. The reason why Nikandros basically oriented the video that he did was to show that Nux is blatantly a fucking hypocrite. That he is a liar, that he is a hypocrite, and that he actually doesn't believe in any of the shit that he supposedly fucking preaches. That is why, right? With the expose being the ultimate culmination on all of that, where Nux had a fucking video talking about Twitch thoughts being a gateway drug to their OnlyFans fucking content. Meanwhile, he's showing uncensored hentai on a fucking goddamn 13 plus platform. Because if you were to do that on Twitch, you're fucking RKO'd instantaneously, bud. No questions asked, no fucking thoughts. Especially back around 2019, 2020. You're getting fucking permit, okay? Or at the very least, you're getting fucking yeeted for several years. Guaranteed. You're not going to see the light of day for a very, very fucking long time. So, that is why Nikandros oriented his video in the way that he did. Which I agree with, right? I think, because listen, I've done my Attack on Grifters videos. I organize things in a timeline of events to eventually culminate into how the person that I am targeting is, simply put, now just a grifter. How they don't believe in fucking anything. I organize a timeline of events to talk about, here is all the actions and the conducts of the individual that has done and said these particular things in the past, the things that they supposedly believed in, content that they used to put out, that basically more or less either orients with their beliefs or the content that they used to put out, right? Consistently speaking, right? To show that how they changed their content, or like their output of content, or their beliefs in order to appeal to particular audiences. Now, is Nikandros trying to expose NuxTaku for being a grifter? No. That's where, well, myself and Nikandros would differ. I have a more differing lens of approaching in terms of my analysis. Nikandros just wanted to expose NuxTaku for creating an environment where child grooming is more likely to happen. And I would argue that Nicontros did a very, very effective job in doing that if he's got all the Asmongold orbiter dipshits currently circling the wagons around him.
Because I shouldn't be falling asleep in the middle of your video if I'm supposed to be gaining pertinent information. You don't like Nicontros too much? He rubs you the wrong way? Can't quite figure out why? I've never heard of him, so this is like my first time seeing any of his content.
This is an excuse, by the way. This is an excuse. More than likely, you knew. You more than likely, because that video went viral, right? It was a very well put together documentary video done by Nicontros, right? And without a shadow of a doubt, that fucking dumbass, NuxTaku, more than likely fucking did that shit, and he fucked up really badly. Everyone fucking knew. You're just mad about the fact that it's, well, one of the buddies in the orbit that you currently hover around in that's getting exposed for facilitating an environment where it is more likely for children to be groomed.
The funny thing, that article is how you found Kirsche. Here we are, been watching since then, almost like it had the opposite effect. He really watered down everything with 50 fucking minutes of nothing. Can't believe that Kirsche, known driver...
That it wasn't really nothing. Again, copium huff.
...of cars, fell asleep behind the wheel. I was the passenger. I was the passenger princess. Have I seen...
Well, she was a passenger in the... Whatever. But yeah, the first time that thumbnails get brought up in my video is for less than a minute before I show Nux exhibiting a comic where a little white girl gets raped by a pack of monkeys. Despite 90% of her content being fear-mongering about how this is a day-to-day reality on the streets of multicultural Europe, perhaps in a more figurative sense, that was apparently not worthy of condemnation to her material, to her as material to be shown into little children. Yeah, Nicontros has got you in the fucking vice grip right there. Kirsche. And also, you're falling asleep while behind the wheel, listening to the fucking... Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Girl, pull over and take a power nap. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Stupid. Very, very dumb. But here. Tectone! Tectone. Of course. Lolicons of feather love to fucking flock together. Of course. Tectone is also circling around the wagons to basically try to make excuses for Nux. Why don't we take a look?
Looked like NuxTaku completely obliterated all of the allegations that were thrown his way in the matter of 5 minutes.
If you think that, then you're fucking stupid. You're just dumb. If you unironically believe that NuxTaku in his dogshit Hassan Bad video where he does that defense and where he was like overviewing an AI video of himself, doing a epic debunking of the expose that Nicontros did to him, you're fucking stupid. Like you're just dumb. Period. End of story. Or I mean, like I said before, lolicons of a feather do like to flock together.
So that was always really fun. I mean, the amount of people were like, you need to denounce Nux. You need to denounce Nux. I'm good, bro. I'm Nux. Straight up. I don't care.
Yeah, I know, because you're okay. Because if you had the ability to also do the same 3IQ, like, clickbaity, barely censored hentai thumbnails that Nux did, and besides the thumbnails that he made, unironic showing of panels of hentai, of manga, of a pack of monkeys raping a little girl, you would be also okay with that as well in order to get, like, hundreds of millions of views. Well, not hundreds of millions, but, like, tens of millions of views to heavily benefit your fucking channel. You would do the exact same thing because you don't give a fuck, right? Not to mention all of that with the quote-unquote biggest flexes of hentai. Talking about, like, some of the most degenerate fucking hentai with both, like people like Project Melody, people like, quite... Moist Critical to a very, very, like, young audience, right? Like, you would love to be able to do shit like that as well because you know it would get you a lot of views and clicks. But here, more sweeping for by Tectone for Nux. Why don't we take a look?
Nux is a fucking Jew pedo creep and that's facts. No, it's not. No, it's not.
So first off, I've already talked about the allegations right there for Nux. Again, that's not the accusations that Nicontros is laying on NuxTaku. So calling him a not accurate. Period. End of story. What he did was facilitate an environment where it is easier for minors to be fucking groomed. That is the problem.
Now, you can, like, think that, but you can't say that, like, that's facts. It's just not. You know what's crazy? All this content that NuxTaku did, like, 7-8 years ago, I don't know if you guys know this, PewDiePie and Giga did the exact same content.
So this is the point that I've mentioned before. I think even in a previous video specifically talking about Tectone. This is just a lie, by the way. Yeah, first off, that's supposed to excuse the behavior for whatever reason, when, again, Giga and PewDiePie were definitely not showing uncensored manga panels of hentai on their fucking YouTube channel to their very, very fucking young audience. That's the fucking issue there. Period. End of story, right? And guess what? They were also, in their thumbnails, not putting in barely censored hentai and bestiality and a bunch of other, well, degenerate fucking shit. Let's be honest here. Like, just to keep it, like, as simple as possible. Just completely fucking degenerate fucking bullshit. In the thumbnails and in the fucking goddamn videos, which were barely censored. All the censoring that happened in Nicandros' video with the hexagons, that was Nicandros' doing, because otherwise, that shit would not have been allowed on fucking YouTube. But yet somehow Nux managed to get away with it. He was pushing the line really, really hard there, right? And somehow he completely slipped under the fucking goddamn radar. Completely slipped under it. And all these motherfuckers are saying, like, oh, that was a beta, when in, like, 2015, 2016, 2017, when Nux was doing this in 2018, 2019, right? We know the timeline of events about this specifically by Nicandros. But at that time, that meta was basically done by both PewDiePie and fucking Giga, and they were just doing different shit at that time. And again, I would make the assumption, right? I don't know exactly which videos are being referred to, but I'm going to operate under the assumption that they were probably much more responsible with the censorship in comparison to what Nux was doing.
Because it was a meta. And everybody goes after Nux. Nobody goes after Giga or PewDiePie. Wonder why that is. It's never been about what's right or what's wrong. It's about optics. And it's about pushing people down who stand against what you are trying to push.
That's fucking ridiculous. I don't think, like, is he trying to suggest that, like, Nicandros is quote-unquote pushing a particular agenda or narrative or something? Like, I don't really understand what's essentially being said here. Like, what is this, like, what the fuck does this even mean? No, the problem is the fact that Nux was explicitly trying to appeal to an audience of minors with the titles, the very aggressive clickbait, and the fact that he had a bunch of people and he himself would also help provide the sauce for, and the source, rather, is sauce, source, same fucking shit, okay? If you know your lingo, you know your fucking goddamn lingo. Providing the sources of all of this, well, honestly, like, just completely fucking crazy-ass content.
And Nux stands in the
for his, like, primarily, like, minor audience.
way of a lot of people, and so people are looking to destroy him, and that's just the reality. And once you become aware of that, of who are the people who are actually speaking for, like, because it's justified versus people who are just trying to take somebody down because they stand in their way, it's like a huge difference. And like how you'll see,
I had no idea that NuxTaku was standing in the way of, like, Nicandros' fucking success on YouTube. I had no idea that they were basically, like, relatively close to each other in terms of prominence and, like, subscriber count. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? The reason why Nicandros is, like, going after Nux specifically is because Nux used to have a very close association to Mudahar, and Nicandros is a pretty dedicated Mudahar hater. So I don't think it's because NuxTaku is quote-unquote standing in the way of anything. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's just stupid.
see the world. But like, no, Nux is not a weird pedo Jew creep. He's just not. Right? And if you think that, I want to see the same energy towards Giga and PewDiePie. But you won't say that on.
stupid. Like, that's not the accusation, right? The accusation is the fact that, again, he helped facilitate an environment that basically made it such that it's easier for, well, minors to be fucking groomed. But here, the final individual that we're going to be going over is someone by the name of Leaflit. Now, Leaflit, if I were to describe her in one word, it would be stupid. Yeah, she's really fucking stupid. The one thing I remember Leaflit from was the fact that she seemed to have a rather positive reaction to a Tyler Oliveira reaction video. For those who may not know, Tyler Oliveira is basically one of these channels that do these, like, quote-unquote exposés into minority populations and their quote-unquote weird practices, where they'll just constantly lie in order to be able to... It's like the same shit that Joey Salads did with, like, all the social experiment videos in, like, Harlem, where he put a car with, like, Trump stickers on it and a bunch of black people all of a sudden showed up with bats to destroy the car, right? That kind of fucking content. Same shit as, like, Nick Shirley, same shit as, like, Brandon Buckingham, all of these, like, very, very weirdo, like, right-wing dipshits who basically appeal to, like, the lowest common denominator of, well, content slop consumer. And she also had a debate with Niara about trans issues specifically, where basically it was, I think it was like a 4-hour debate. I don't know how Niara was able to do it. I guess she has the patience of a saint, which, you know, listen, I'm throwing, this is a bit of a German joke here. I would not expect that from the quote-unquote very efficient Germans, but, you know, whatever. The thing is, specifically, is Leaflit went into that video basically not knowing about anything whatsoever in terms of the, well, a topic in particular, and that is about trans issues in particular. And, well, she is also a part of this orbit of, well, weirdo Asmongold hanger-ons, basically, right? Like, doing the whole circling of the wagons in order to defend NuxTaku for his, well, rather shitty actions.
Is Nux still cool, or is he still getting canceled? Dude, I don't even know the
Getting
Nux
canceled
situation at all, to be honest. But I'm gonna guess it's really stupid. That's what I'm gonna guess. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Nux. Like, I mean, I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. She might not be lying. She might be telling the truth here, or just being obtuse on purpose, because Leaflit is really fucking stupid, man. Like, this individual, like, it's one of those situations where I just, like, I sit there and I wonder, like, what constantly goes on in your brain all the time? Like, what are the synapses that are constantly firing up in there that make you think and say the things that you do? Like, what goes on up there? I just wonder.
The story behind it, but I'm pretty sure that the drama's probably dumb. There's probably a lot of misunderstandings. That's my guess.
Yeah, I don't think it's a lot of misunderstandings there, Leaflit. If you saw the Nicandros video, Nicandros makes it rather clear that Nux not exactly an above-board content creator and engaged in a lot of rather suspicious behaviors that would definitely be out of line with the YouTube TOS, but he would skirt around all the censors consistently in order to push adult content to, well, a audience that had a bunch of minors in it.
You're not supporting Nux and you have watched them for 2 years? So what happened, Matt? Okay, is there a video?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I you know what, to be honest, I don't even want to get involved in any of this drama. I'm just being real. I just don't care enough.
Of course.
Nux was in the Epstein files? Damn.
That's probably true. Honestly, I'd believe that. NuxTaku being in the Epstein files, that's believable, absolutely. So she's basically just gonna start by feigning fucking ignorance here. But here, another fucking video about this, where she is seemingly continuing to sweep for NuxTaku and also Tectone here as well by trying to make this all a political issue, saying that left-wingers are liars. So this is how you know that she definitely has some kind of an idea of what is going on here, if she's hyper-specifically focusing on, if I were to take a guess, fucking cancel culture or some shit.
Are people still mad at me on X? I made it on the base list. I gained like 2,500 followers. I don't have an opinion on the video because I haven't seen it. People were like, how do you feel about Rapetone and NuxTaku? And I'm like, bro, I don't really care. I don't know about it. I'm gonna wait because
Dude, like, they're in your fucking orbit, man. Like, you should probably have an opinion or, like, an idea of the actions of people that you basically fucking associate with online or are a part of an orbit with. Like, you kind of have to either make a decision to be like, yeah, I don't really give a shit at all, and I'm just going to continue supporting these people despite the fact that I have seen the video. Like, what are you doing? Or, like, trying to distance yourself in some way, because otherwise people are just going to think, like, are you just sweeping for them if I don't know, but you're being like a ditz and just pretending to not know anything about it? Like, what are you doing, man?
The reason why is because every time this happens, they're like, oh, this person's a Nazi, that person's a groomer, that person's a pedo. I'm gonna wait a couple weeks, I'm gonna see what happens, and then, you know, maybe someone will tell me about it, and then, like, I'll look into it that way, right? Nux finds a yearly cancel.
Well, let's see. It's been about a week. I don't think there's been anything quite yet by Leaflit into this, right? And I don't think you have to wait a couple of weeks for this. The consensus is rather clear that NuxTaku and Tectone are both really bad for a lot of their behaviors. And also, like, the Tectone stuff by this point, came out on the 20th. All the Tectone stuff happened early in February. That would have already been a couple of weeks by your metric. So then you probably should have a pretty decent idea at this point, because a lot of the opinions have been basically put out there at this point, Leaflit. I think you just want to be purposefully ignorant because, again, you are in an orbit with all of these people, and as a result, you want to just try to sweep all of this under the rug.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, I'm skeptical of any cancel campaigns because you want to know why? Because I know these lefters are fucking liars. They're fucking dirty liars, little dirty rat liars. So I just.
This is fucking incredible. Like,
yeah, it's all about cancel culture. Yeah, I hate the cancellations that all these leftists are doing over NuxTaku and Rapetone and NuxTaku. How dare they do these things? Because they always are inclined to cancel.
Despite the fact that we have court transcripts and there's a protective order currently on fucking Tectone about the impropriety that he had against his ex Pinkchu, and NuxTaku had been, well, exposed in a very well put together, detailed video by Nicandros. Again, that video that he was using primarily as an example, biggest flexes in hentai. You can't fucking find that video anymore. And trust me, I checked myself. You were able to fucking find that video when Nicandros put it in the description in the first 24 hours when that video was released. It looks like Nicandros more than likely hit the fucking nail on the head.
Like, they've cried wolf so much, I just don't even believe them anymore. I looked into the Tectone thing slightly. It's actually so retarded. Do you want to know what their logic is? They put a protective order against...
Oh, you've looked into it now. When you said you didn't look into any of this before. Well, that's a little interesting there, Leaflit.
Against him. In civil court. That's it. Okay. Civil court. It's not even a criminal charge. And people are saying, like, see, he raped her. Like, what? That's not even, that's not even proof.
Guilty until proven innocent.
Basically, that's what everyone's doing.
Well, no, it's because Tectone has had history of doing this before, so that's why people are more likely inclined to believe that, yeah, more than likely, Tectone definitely fucking did that shit. Because, again, we have, first off, the shit that happened with Freem, his ex-wife of 10 years, where Freem was going to put out a Google document alleging all of the abuses that she went through while being the wife of fucking Tectone, but that got shut down because of an NDA. So guess what? That never went through. Shocker. Does Leaflit know about that? Probably not. And also, specifically with the secondary stuff that happened with Pinkchu, we have the court transcripts. We basically know what they talked about throughout the depositions of the court case there, right? We know exactly, and a lot of the stuff specifically that was said by Pinkchu was very, very much so in line with the allegations that she had, and the judge deemed it, because of a lot of counter arguments by Tectone, seemingly being incredibly fucking ineffective. Like, in that transcript, Tectone alleges that he was a diagnosed, unmedicated fucking schizophrenic, right? And that he has guns, and that he has stalked his fucking ex before. So it's just like, well, that's a little interesting. Well, like, why the fuck would you say that? Why would you say that stuff in the fucking court, in front of a judge? They're gonna be like, yeah, it's a little fucking weird. I think we may have to grant a protective order there for the prosecution because of the fact that you just literally said that shit about you being an unmedicated, diagnosed fucking schizophrenic with guns. Like, why the fuck would you say that? Genuinely insane. And I've said this before, but I think the reason why Tectone probably called himself a schizophrenic in court is because he probably uses the term schizo all the time and just thinks it means like a crazy, ridiculous person, when in reality that's not. Schizophrenia is an actual disease, and it means it's going to actually mean something in the fucking court of law. So you just calling yourself an unmedicated diagnosed schizophrenic with guns in the court of law, that's going to raise a ton of alarm bells in any fucking judge.
It's stupid as fuck. Even if we were to ignore all of the suspicious stuff around it, like the judge being biased in like a, you know, and this is in Austin, by the way. Like, even if we were to just ignore all of that, right?
Of course, we have to inherently try to discredit the judge, just like that fucking troglodyte Think Before You Sleep did, saying like, no, the judge is clearly woke because she was Indian and is a Democrat, so therefore she's woke, and that means she's inherently biased. It's like, that's not how that works, man. Like, it's just, have you seen any of Tectone's testimony? He did a really fucking poor job and testimony to the fucking judge. And that's why the protective order was granted. Yeah, it's fucking stupid, man.
And say, okay, the judge was totally legit. There's like, you know, there's no like ulterior motives from anybody. Even then, it's not even a criminal charge. You can sue people, get protective orders against people for anything.
I used to work with court cases.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a lot.
But I mean, you know how civil has a much less standard of evidence, basically.
Yep.
So like, it doesn't even mean anything.
Well, basically, they have to. The defendant has to prove that Pinkchu's testimony and that she is an uncredible source, basically, right? And the defendant was unable to sort of, because they poked some holes in the argument, but it was not enough in the mind of the judge to say that she was uncredible enough to not have the protective order granted, and he basically fucking lost because of that. Because of, again, a lot of the shit that he said himself. Like, he unironically lied about some of the stuff that he said also in that testimony in court. Like, come on, man. Come on! Like, because everything that Tectone has done in terms of this, the situation around Pinkchu and Freem, all of it is completely built off of a bunch of lies. Completely.
It means that they thought that there was a possibility that there's a possibility that he could have done it, basically. So like they wanted to err on the side to protect the girl. Just in
something
case.
like that. All it means is that
I don't know how many times this has to be said, but he literally said that he is a unmedicated diagnosed schizophrenic. That he confirmed the allegations of using Pinkchu as an auto blow machine, and that he basically has forced himself on her before. He confirmed that stuff. So, yeah, I think it makes sense why the fucking protective order was granted off of those grounds. When he fucking admitted that stuff. But okay, dude.
there was a ruling deciding that keeping them separated was the safest for all parties. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, but that means more than likely, because, again, the reason why, like, it wasn't a criminal charge, because there was a police investigation that was also going on into this for several months at a time. But a lot of those are very drawn out and take long on purpose and become a bureaucratic mess by the police, and they will very often let a lot of rape kits expire as well. There's a bunch of history of this consistently happening throughout police departments in history in the United States of America, but I don't think these two dipshits really know or care about any of that stuff. But continuing on with Leaflit, it appears that Leaflit has also been exposed for lying about not moderating her Patreon Discord. This pious Christian VTuber who has, and I've seen a post about this, both an NSFW channel and also a fucking Bible study channel. In my heckin' very, very based sort of Christian, I don't know, evangelical VTuber over here. Very base Christians. Well, that's a little fucking interesting. I wonder why that's the case then, Leaflit. So, yeah, so Harmful Opinions, I believe himself, or at least a video, I think it was about a 32-minute video, exposing Leaflit for not doing any moderation action on her Discord server as well, her Patreon Discord server. The same shit that happened specifically with fucking NuxTaku. Oops.
Leaflit herself went on to Mama Arco's stream to defend this mod and respond to the situation in general. Leaflit talks about the Discord server not being hers.
You had already told me it's...
So I believe it is a... Okay, well, this person's like... I guess also helping to sweep for fucking Leaflit and is in this, I guess, orbit of like dumb fuck right-wing VTubers or whatever. Sure, whatever. Nonsense. I believe the accusations here by Harmful Opinions is basically of SUSSY actions between a minor in the Patreon Discord server and a moderator as well, between, well, a minor and a moderator, I believe.
It's not even...
I'll stick the Harmful Opinions video as well
your server.
in the description.
Was it started by you, or how does that work?
I can clear it up real quick.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a server, like it's a fan server for the community. I don't get a vote in like who moderation. I don't do any moderation on it.
Interesting.
Wait, this is your fucking Patreon Discord server. Hold on, we're looking this up real quick. We're looking this up. Okay, here's her Patreon. So at the $14.50 tier, well, Canadian money, Patreon only updates, Discord access, right here. She advertised that this is a so this is a fan server that she basically now uses for a Discord server? Or something? Discord role, Discord, access to Patreon exclusive channel. That's probably like, I guess, a public Discord. Or is this like a private Discord server that you have to be a part of the Discord or the Patreon itself in order to get access to that Discord? That's a little fucking interesting. So I guess Leaflit is basically lying here?
Interesting. 12th of the 2nd, 2025. I don't personally get involved unless it's just an easy ban, says Leaflet. I don't normally involve myself in Discord since I don't run it, but if I catch you using slurs in a bad faith manner, I will personally send you to the Shadow Realm. 30th of the...
Oh, so she's lying here about not getting involved at all with this quote-unquote fan Discord server. She clearly interacts in there. Oops. And I mean, literally, based off of what's being said here, like, you can just fucking DM her, I would assume, probably on the fucking Discord.
The 6th, 2025. Don't post needlessly edgy jokes. It can get the server in trouble. Fair enough. I do the same with Twitch chat and stuff. So I'm going to have to time them out / remove them, says Leaflet.
Like, I don't actually, like, do any enforcement.
Wait, what kind of fucking debate Thunderdome? I can only imagine what these dumbasses fucking debate.
Like, do any enforcement action at all.
If what I showed was...
Well, that's a fucking lie.
The last time you were doing it, that's only been true for barely over half a year.
Oops. Well, that seems like a pretty quick cut, little dry accusation there. Apparently she doesn't fucking do any enforcement actions when clearly she fucking does. Oopsie. I assume harmful opinions more than likely
herself.
In terms of the rest of his expose goes into the fact that, perhaps that she actually did know about a bunch of the actions going on within the Patreon Discord. Maybe not what was going on in the DMs with that moderator in particular. Again, I'll stick the video in the description. We're not going to go over the entirety of the harmful opinions video, perhaps another day, because it would take a pretty long time, and I don't want to take that long, that long, specifically into Leaflit, because this is about all these people, well, generally speaking, circling the wagons. So this is the current sort of thing that's going on with Leaflit, and guess who's currently circling the wagons for her right now? Here's Chibi Reviews. Chibi Reviews is basically a anime YouTuber who not that long ago had a big drama where his entire friend group basically hated him. His best friend of 10 years cheated on him with his fucking fiance as well. And for those who don't know about Chibi Reviews, basically this guy is like, he had like videos talking about lolicons of the fucking week. He has said a bunch of really sussy shit before on Twitter. I'll probably take a further look into this about a lot of the shit that fucking Chibi Reviews himself has also done and said. He's fucking racist. He's very fucking homophobic. He's transphobic. This guy is genuinely a fucking piece of shit. And guess what? He is circling the wagons right here for Leaflit. Been seeing Leaflit get harassed a bit on the timeline. I think this is completely unacceptable. From my personal experience with her, she's been nothing but kind to others and to me. Oh, I wonder why. Probably because, I don't know, racists of a feather like to flock together. I may not be fully aware of the entire situation, but with how often people twist things in bad faith. So again, this is how you know that these guys are just circling the wagons. This is the excuse they constantly employ. Oh, I don't know 100% what's going on, but you know, I've been privy to these things before, and I've experienced this stuff before. So I can just say that it's period, end of story. It has to be fucking bad, and people acting in fucking bad faith. Again, they're just saying this because it's an excuse to try to defend people that they are in an orbit with one another. That's literally it. They're just circling the wagons here. I'm inclined to believe whatever is fully going on is just to be hateful, to ruin her image permanently, to have power over her. So anyone harassing Leaflit, fuck off. To my community, please send her support. So there is Chibi Reviews, big YouTuber, explicitly sending support to Leaflit, who may have done some rather sussy behavior, or had people within her Discord server doing some rather fucking sussy behavior. And I guess, you know, after poorly circling the wagons of, NuxTaku, I guess she finally decided to take a look at the Nicandros video, the very good Nicandros video exposing NuxTaku, and she, well, didn't, like, engage with the video whatsoever. Shows 0 frames of the video that is supposedly being addressed. She didn't even watch the fucking video itself. That's fucking genuinely pathetic. How can you generate an opinion on a video that you've not fucking watched? Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? And by the way, the man himself from On High is coming down, and I guess he's facing a lot of backlash for all of his, like, dumb fuck orbiters doing a bunch of dumb fucking bullshit, specifically, right? Saying, dude, just don't let any minors into your fucking Discord.
But you know, what is this? It's got nothing to do with minors being. What the? Jesus Christ! People, like, honestly, like, guys, I'm gonna be real. Like, if you're a content creator, you need to stop interacting with anybody that's under 18.
True.
You need to stop doing it. It's a massive fucking mistake. You are putting yourself in a bad situation.
I'm not gonna lie, I agree with Asmongold here. He's just correct. It's too much of a fucking liability. Don't even fucking bother with it unless you're making like Miss Rachel-esque content, and I don't know, if you're making like adult stuff, right? Like 18 plus stuff, you know, you swear a lot, you talk about like more heavier topics, don't fucking interact with minors. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. It's a liability. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it.
Stop, like, do not let the kids, do not let them on your Discord, don't let them in your community, don't do anything. Yeah, it's a total liability, and if you're not a content creator...
He's just right here.
I mean, listen, everybody knows that it's not a big deal, it's not a problem if you talk to somebody that's 16 whenever you're playing a video game, you know, and you're in the same guild. Like, it's not a big deal. Like,
that's true, Alex. Yeah, he's not wrong, but it's only because they need a hard rule because they can't treat people underage correctly. That's 1000% the correct. I mean, we talked about this before, but it's not a pedocon theory when it comes to conservatives. It's pedocon law.
Everybody knows that. But the problem is that whenever you're a content creator and you have a community, it is just better for everybody that kids are not allowed in it. That's all I'm saying. I think that's very fair.
I think that's also very fair. Wow, look at me, agreeing with fucking the Shaitan himself, Asmongold. He's just right there. Like, why fucking risk that shit, right? Like, don't bother. It's not worth it. It's too much of a fucking pain in the ass. Don't fucking do it, bro. Don't fucking do it, dude. And listen, right here, as Nicandros himself says, Leaflit's own Discord server, for example, is not 18 plus. It allows minors, and yet it has like 5,400 matches for lolly and about 31 matches for cunny in it. They're trying to remove our spies from the server, but we got all that shit archived, honey. Yup. There it is. Lolly, cunny, and there's the fucking Discord server itself. Oopsie. And for those who may not know, lolly, should be fairly obvious what is meant by lolly, and cunny, anyone who has the name cunny in it, on like, well, Discord, you can automatically assume is a fucking pedophile. Period, end of story. Like, they are fucking psychos. Here, for example, is a person openly admitting to being 15. The adult users scream mods, mods, mods because they think it's an 18 plus server. That's how they act on there. Moderator, green name, arrives, says it's no problem. Uh-oh, my dude, I'm 15, mods, mods, mods. Because again, they're assuming, because given all of the degenerate shit that more than likely goes on in here, well... again, there's a fucking Bible study channel in this Discord and an NSFW fucking section in this Discord. Like, stupid, it's nonsense, whatever. And they're saying, like, I'm pretty sure this is an 18 plus server, right? Given all the stuff that's going on here. Like, what the fuck is going on here? And, well, they're okay with it, because, again, not in a fucking 18 plus server. And this is the exact same fucking problem that Nicandros exposed within his video as well. Leaflit's doing the exact same fucking behaviors. Very, very cool. They did eventually get banned, so I guess, good job, Leaflit. Your Discord server moderators are more responsible than, well, NuxTaku's. 3 claps. Mentioned being 15 multiple times. Repeatedly talked about lusting after femboys. Oh, the dude might be a bit of a chaser. Interesting. And they were eventually banned, but instead of immediately removing them and clearing their messages, a moderator ran a fucking poll on whether this minor should be removed and offered not to ban them if someone PayPals him 20 fucking... Jesus Christ. So what? I believe what Harmful Opinions' videos goes into actions that the moderators were doing in private fucking DMs with minors of the Discord server, a bunch of sussy actions going on right there, and also, Leaflet's mods being very, very easily corruptible. Oh, whoa, who would have thought? How did this incident not result in an 18 plus rule being put in here? There are many other minors saying inappropriate things on here, but I'll send the archive to people with time to investigate things further. Oh yeah, and here. There's a fucking goddamn, like, NSFW section. The server also has an NSFW section that requires verifications, meaning that adult regulars are clearly labeled as adults. How do you think a predator would utilize this information to target minors? The staff members on NuxTaku's public Discord, the one that launched the 16 plus server with NSFW channels, knows that this is a bad idea. Oops. 13-year-olds on Leaflit server be looking at pictures of scantily clad lollies and going zam. Can't imagine why the person who set this up, this place would be so quick to downplay someone letting a child be groomed on their Discord while shouting out the groomer to his audience as someone worth joining the Discord to meet. You're an adult human being. You have a duty to protect, of care to protect children. Maybe take a break from spurging about kids being groomed into being trans, and make sure they're not being groomed in your community. Well, unfortunately for you, Nicandros, all these people are fucking grifters and they don't believe in anything. And as soon as they actually do something that is improprietous themselves, they will constantly circle the wagons in order to defend their fucking actions and behavior. Listen, like I've said before, it's not pedocon theory, it's pedocon law. And very often these people will blame the parents of these kids when they say like, oh, I can't believe that the parents of the fucking kids just let them on my fucking 18 plus Discord server. First off, not labeled as 18 plus, so that's a fucking problem to begin with. And also, like, the kid can just lie to their parents when they get permission to try to spend money on their fucking parents' credit card into the fucking Patreon server. People just lie, and the parents are just like, oh, okay, whatever, I trust my kid, I believe in my kid to make correct decisions, blah, 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 blah. And guess what? Oh, it turns out that's a fucking mistake. And that's just how it is sometimes. It's called trust, something which I know is anathema to people like this. Forgot to drop an example of the adults role for NSFW channel access. Oh, so there are people who get fucking listed as adults. Just for reference, there are rules of Nayara. Here are the rules, rather, of Nayara's Discord server. Asmongold and his orbiters, like Leaflit, constantly smear her as a child groomer. This is accurate. They do that all the time, so I'm sure their Discord is min-maxed for grooming children. Let's see. Oh, it's adults only and no NSFW media allowed. The gold standard. I thought the 15-year-olds lusting after femboys would be there, but they're in Leaflit's Discord server instead. If someone that all your friends allege to be a child groomer has grounds to lecture you about child safety, you know how that makes you look, right? Yeah, it makes them look really fucking bad. And again, gold fucking standard, 18 plus server, no NSFW media, Nayara making it rather fucking goddamn clear because, oh, it turns out she knows what environment she wants to cultivate. But conservatives, people like Leaflit, people like NuxTaku, and all these dumbass motherfuckers, they don't give a shit, right? They just want to cultivate an audience, as large of an audience as possible in order to appeal to as many demographics as possible. If I look through my analytics right now on my YouTube channel, you want to know how many people that I have in the age range of 13 to 17? 0%. Because I tailor my fucking goddamn content in a particular way to make it such that don't want to fucking advertise to kids. Now, could there be a bunch of them that are lying? Sure. Whatever. But I have no way of fucking knowing that for certain, right? All I can do is just use tools that are available to me to say, hey, I don't want minors interacting with any of my fucking shit. You can fuck right off with this bullshit. Doing a bit of further introspection, it seems like there was some form of, for lack of a better term, cunny bubble, Jesus Christ, that popped up in August of 2025. Does this coincide with something? A large chunk of the matches seen on a search of the archives seem to be from links to a Twitter embed bot that they, for some reason, decided to call Cunny X. There are also a lot of links to a now deleted Twitter account that was called Cunny News Network. Very cool. Yeah, on a 13 plus... Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Oh my god, yeah, it literally goes to an outside fucking goddamn link. Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, I think that's a pretty fucking, very, very fucking clear at this point that, guys, maybe, just maybe, there may be a bunch of weirdo fucking goddamn groomers on, Leaflit's fucking Discord server who may have some interesting proclivities, let's just say. But yeah, should be fairly fucking clear. All of these people just want to appeal to as large of a fucking audience as possible. And when any of their fucking dudes get exposed, they will constantly begin to circle the wagons and just defend themselves and their fucking orbit For what purpose exactly? To not make themselves look as bad as possible. That's it. Yeah, 1000%. They just want control over an audience, and it's way easier to do that with kids. Exactly, Boy Meets Mini. That's a fantastic fucking point. But shouldn't be really surprised by this whatsoever. This is a consistent pattern of behavior with a lot of these conservative grifter types who basically just want to appeal to as many fucking audiences as possible and basically just project their own sort of, well, let's say, insecurities and problems onto others when they feel like they are getting correctly fucking called out for a lot of their fucking behaviors. So, again, when it comes to conservatives and, well, child grooming, it's not pedocon theory, it's pedocon fucking law. Don't think there's really much else to say besides that.